purity was like, oh, you
All right, everybody, welcome back. You may remember my next guest from the hit show Glee, but now he's taking on a much different role on American Crime Story, the Assassination of Gianni Versace. Everybody, please welcome Darren Criss. Show, man. I just want to say congratulations on the engagement, and that's all I want to say about it.
Thank you. That's all right. Thank you.
Let's do it,
so
man.
much. Thank you very much. I'm joining the ranks. Very, very excited.
It's a good thing, man.
Yeah, I feel it's a cool club to be joining. I'm getting married to one of my best pals, so I'm very excited. Yeah.
Any questions, man?
Well, you are infamously the purveyor of good love advice. So hit me, Steve. What do you got?
Well, for a guy, here's the #1 piece of advice.
All right.
Rule #1 when you're getting married. This is all you have to remember. Here it is. You can be happy, or you can be right.
All right. That's luckily I've subscribed to that my whole life.
That's all you got.
So. I'll be in good hands, I think. Yeah.
That's it, man.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Just give it to her. All the little stuff. Give her all the stuff she wants, because you're gonna walk in the house.
When she's happy, I'm happy. So that makes it right. So we're like.
And then you're gonna walk in the house. Yeah. You know what it is, man? Is you're gonna walk in the house with something big, like, baby, we're gonna have to go here to shoot this, and we're gonna have to move for 6 months. You're gonna walk in the house with some big requests. In order for the big request to go smoothly, you have to give up a lot of little stuff along the way.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's the #1 thing, man.
That's a fair trade. It's okay.
Hey, man, everybody starts off with humble beginnings. Yours was, get a load of this, is how he started. He started by singing at Maggiano's over at the Grove in L.A.
Yeah. It's fun.
Is that crazy, man? How did you land that gig?
It was a good job. It was a great job because throughout this is when I just came out here, like right after college. So I'd already, by the point I moved
Where you
here.
From?
I'm from San Francisco originally, but I went to college out in Michigan. And when I came out here, I'd already done a lot of gigs in Michigan, playing at bars and restaurants. So when I got out here, I was just looking for a place with a piano where I could just play and sing, for free food and tips. And I had a buddy that worked at Maggiano's, and he gave me that exact setup, and it was great. I played twice a week, and I would play for like 4 or 5 hours, never play the same song twice, and get free, eggplant parmesan at the end of the day. It was a great situation. Yeah, it's amazing. I loved it.
All right, now let's talk about this. The new show, American Crime Story. It was created by Ryan Murphy, who also created Glee. Is it fun to work with this guy again?
Yeah, well, oddly enough, we didn't really work together in the traditional sense of creating something together when we did Glee, because he was my boss. And even though we had been associated with each other for many years on Glee, it was the first time we got to be kind of in the trenches together, and that was a real treat, because all the accolades that he has and everything we know about him as far as being this creative force is totally true. He's like really good at his job. So that was a thrill.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Now, in American Crime Story, you portray a serial killer, Andrew Cunanan. Did you contact anybody who knew this guy to prepare for this role?
I didn't really have to. He was almost this urban legend to a lot of folks, where he was the life of the party in all kinds of scenes in San Diego and the Bay Area and a lot of places around the country. So people have come up to me all the time with stories of knowing him in high school or in his later 20s. So the information came to me. I could just sit back, and the homework came right to my front door.
I mean, this is crazy. I know when people perform roles, they try to draw on something. Now, I don't think you have to compare your life to his, but do you feel like you got certain things in common with the character that you play?
You can compare. I think I'm in the business of empathy. It is my job and my interest to find as many common denominators as anybody I'm playing, no matter how far we may think we are from them. And I'm looking at a kid with promise and had a lot of gifts and had so much potential, and I'm looking less at why he did this and more about, how we got there. How does a kid with so much positivity go down a destructive path. And I think when you look at it from that angle, you'll find that someone like me has a lot more in common with him, yeah.
Yeah. That was he was a compulsive liar.
It was.
You didn't draw on that, did you?
When I was in high school, I was at a concert and we had really high like balcony seats. We didn't have the floor seats, and I wanted to get in the floor seats because that's where it was all happening. And I think at the time I was just joking with my friends. We were, you know, we're theater kids, we're idiots, so we're like pretending to do a British accent. And then somebody, I think, who was like running security was like, "Oh, you guys British?" And I just remember going, "Yeah, mate, that's right, yeah. Yeah, I'm from England, I'm from London. Love this band. I wish I could get in the floor though." And they, on the precedent of me being a British kid in town for only a certain amount of time, they let me into the floor, and it was a great ha-ha story. I can't believe this worked. However, the person that let me into the concert, I did not know I'd be running into this person for many years after. So I had to sustain this awful, stupid lie for like 5 years.
Thank you very much, man. Great job. Hey, be sure to tune in to American Crime Story. It's the assassination of Gianni Versace, Wednesdays at 10 p.m. on FX. Don't go away. We got a lot more fun to come.